All right. Mic check one, mic check two. If you are watching this live stream, back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters. I'm still setting up. You can skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm going to be giving some people some time to tune in and finish setting up. But I'm on time. For a change, I'm here at 10:55. Just on the nose, or 10:56. Missed it by a minute, maybe. First and foremost, I want to wish a happy birthday to Wall Street Trapper. I caught the end of Trapping Tuesdays tonight before I was getting ready to do my own show. He hit his 200th Trapping Tuesday episode, and it's his birthday, which is awesome. He got a lot of love, a lot of support. He's doing a lot of great things for people in our community and for people looking to get into investing, beginners, people who feel intimidated and things like that. He's been doing an amazing job. So I just wanted to wish him a happy birthday and congratulations on his 200th episode. He shares a lot of great information, talks about God, even personal development and self-improvement, especially when he talks about consistency and just showing up, which is some of the things that I like to talk about and share with people and do my best to practice and live as an example. Don't just talk about something, be about it. So happy birthday to him and congratulations. So we are here. Let me finish getting the rest of this stuff set up so we can get it going. I need to put some chapstick on these lips. That was too much. That was too much. Let me fix it. And it's hot in here in Michigan. Man, we got a heat wave or something, man. It is hot. And I can't have the air conditioner running while I'm doing these live streams. Please bless this fan. And hopefully this will get me through. Oh, that's why I got this little towel here. And now they put chapstick on it. But I'm going to have to use this to try to stay cool. I have to use that to try to stay cool. All right, glass is clean. We had an awesome show last night. Shots out to everybody in the chat from last night. We about to work on getting the chat set up right now to make sure everything is good. All right, that's already added. So we're connected to Facebook. We're connected to YouTube, and we're connected to X. Let me do a practice. There we go. So that's working. Let me turn this down a little bit because I noticed that was kind of loud in the live stream last night. I'll test it one more time to see how it sounds. It almost sounds the same, but this it's lower. I know it's lower. So delete that. Go to the chat over here. Okay, we streaming on all three. We're good. Okay. I need to set up the video for the earnings. Oh, I needed to tell you guys this. I accidentally scheduled Nike for tomorrow. So you're not tripping. If you got notified and you thought we were doing Constellation Brands tonight, that was how it was scheduled, but I switched them. So we're doing Nike tonight and we're doing Constellation Brands tomorrow. So that's what's going on with that. I'll click earnings. Oh, I see what's going on. All right. Yeah. So let's check these things. Make sure that they're good. Oh, wait a minute. Nike. Control 1. Windows 1. That's not right. Windows 1. Ah, I got it. There we go. All right. Earnings. Get this set up correctly. Bam. Drag this over. Yeah, I hope you guys had an awesome day in the market. I got toe up, but it was more so profits, giving profits back. You know, positions do pullbacks. So I got caught in a nasty, nasty pullback. But I did some research to sharpen up my options game. I'm about to start getting back into my options so I can protect my profits. So that's what I'm about to start working on. I'm tired of it going up, coming back down, going up, coming back down. It seemed like the positions that I have, the only time they actually move like they mean it is around earnings. You'll be waiting on that every 3 months. So have to work on adding something else to my strategy. So that's what I'm working on. Let me see. All right, so we got that for the earnings. We got that set up. Let's go here, go there. This is reject all. See if we zoomed in. You don't need to see this. Go here. Cool. Thank you, sis, for sharing the Facebook stream, because I believe that's what that is. She just shared the live stream on Facebook. We'll be starting shortly. I'm just setting up the rest of these websites that we're going to look at and cover tonight. All right, we're good. We good now. We can go here, go there, do this, go there. Bam, bam. All right, all right. All right, we're streaming on X, we're streaming on YouTube, and we're streaming on Facebook. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get this started. Check this prompter, make sure we're good. Yep. Looking good, looking good. All right. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God. Oh, thank God. It is Tuesday, guys. It is Tuesday. And tonight we're taking a look at ticker NKE. You might know them better as Nike. Nike Incorporated was founded in 1964 by Bill Bowerman and Phil Knight, with the first office being located in Phil Knight's parents' basement in Portland, Oregon. Now, they're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and have a market value over $60 billion. Yes, that's billion dollars. Nike is in the textiles, apparel, and luxury goods industry in the consumer discretionary sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Nike's competitors are Adidas, AG, ticker ADDYY, Deckers Outdoor Corporation, ticker DECK, and Under Armour Incorporated, ticker UA. We're going to review Nike's earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a Y in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, F for Facebook, and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are at 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. Okay, guys, let's get to it. Let's go to these earnings. Oh, man, look at here. There we go. All right. Nike, ticker symbol NKE, the $60.8 billion company, reported its fourth quarter earnings on Tuesday, June 30th. They have a 52-week high of $80.17, which took place on August 25th, and a 52-week low of $40 that occurred on June 26th, which is a trading range of $40.17. And they closed today at $41.05. Nike company's earning report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $11 billion, which was higher than the market expectations of $10.9 billion. And they beat on the bottom line as a significant $986 million recovery benefit from historical international tariffs dramatically expanded operational profit margins. EPS was higher than the analysts and market expectations of 11 cents when they reported an adjusted EPS of 72 cents. Nike reported a GAAP net income of $1.1 billion, which is higher than the $211 million net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents an increase of 421%. So for the fourth fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 80.8% lower than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released after the market closed, followed by a 5 p.m. Eastern Time conference call. As far as guidance, management noted ongoing top-line headwinds, but highlighted structural progress in product scaling and marketplace elevation. That 52-week high compared to today's closing of $41.05 represents a decline of 48.7% over a span of approximately 10 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in August at that 52-week high of $80.17, they would be seeing a loss of $487. Woo, guys, we did that. Woo, we did it. Let's move on. There we go. Let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition, and how well do they take care of their employees? We look for those answers in 4 main areas: the homepage for goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for SEC filings and stock quotes. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go visit Nike's website. Here we go. Hey, the video was killing me on my peripheral. I'm like, man, close that so I can read this prompter. Here we go. All right, take that down, put their ticker up. All right, so here we are. We're on Nike's homepage. And let me pause this video, guys. That's busy. That's a lot of stuff going on. I'm sorry. So because this is a consumer discretionary company, everything on here pretty much gonna be trying to get you to buy something. So we're gonna browse over this website, but immediately at the top, I don't see anything we need to look at. So most likely it's gonna be at the very bottom of the page. So we're possibly gonna go through a long scroll, but let's just start. Let's just go. Play like everyone's watching. Pressure picked the wrong team. Shop Brazil. Look at those cleats. Okay, shop stalker. Life, why I say stalker? Ooh, shop soccer lifestyle. Shop cleats, rep your team. They look like they having fun. Make it here, take it anywhere. Got it. Pull up in style. Dug deep, struck gold. I was about to say that's a little water bottle is compressed. Okay, Nike, 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 Nike. City ready style, the opening, scroll, something you can scan, follow along, run, full horsepower, trending. I told you this was going to be buy. So here we are. We down at the bottom. Let me take you off the screen so we can look for what we need to click on. All right, company. So we're going to go to About Nike. We're going to go to Careers, and we're going to go to Investors. It looks like they have purpose as a whole separate link, so we're gonna go there as well. Let's start with About Nike. Here we go. Put me back on the screen, and wouldn't you know it, something else moving. We serve athletes. If you have a body, you are an athlete. Another video. Nike football is ready for this summer. Football is also soccer in other parts of the world, so I think that's the football they talking about. Nike debuts Rip the Script, a step inside the universe of Nike football. Yeah, that's soccer, guys. The soccer. Okay. This is supposed to be about, all this is about soccer. Nike don't just do soccer. Nike ignites football fandom through immersive retail experiences designed to reach more consumers. Nike brings the world's best street footballers. Yeah. Guys, this is still selling stuff. We clicked on about Nike. I ain't seen anything about purpose, vision, mission, or any of that. So I'm thinking that this is going to be on that link that specifically said purpose. So let's see. We're going to have to go back. Let's just go ahead and click that one because they still trying to sell you stuff. And they celebrating the mess out of soccer right now. So let's go ahead and go to purpose. Right. Okay, here we go. Our mission: bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. If you have a body, you are an athlete. And they have a pause button for the video, but we're moving on. We relentlessly believe that better is always possible. Our culture of innovation at Nike Incorporated goes beyond creating products that enable athletes to perform at their highest potential. Also, remember, links to these websites featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, equipping our team today and the talent of tomorrow. Future of youth sport, helping kids everywhere discover the power of play and movement. Sustainability, innovating solutions at scale to reduce our environmental impact. Responsible supply chain, strengthening a more resilient global supply chain. Got it. Spotlight, supply chain. What it takes to make the mercurial. I hope I pronounced that right. We're at the bottom, guys. All right, so we went through, and then they had a nerve to put about up here. That was not under that link. That was not under that link. Now they got another link down here to say mission. Oh, it's at the top. All it did was take us back to the top. All right, guys, let's go to careers. We got to go back. Here we go. Homepage right here, careers. What moves you moves our world. Another video. If you have a body, you are an athlete. All right, we got it. What moves us, the brand, culture, and action. We're looking for the benefits, and it looks like they zoomed us out. So let me zoom back in, start from the top, because it made everything look small. So at the top, let me pause this video. Where is it? There we go. Pause. Home, career areas, total rewards, life at Nike, and purpose. So we're going to go to career areas and life at Nike if we cannot find the benefits over this page. I already feel like we spent too much time on this website, so I'm going to browse over real quick to see if we can see benefits somewhere on this page, okay? What moves us, culture and action, from the inside out. Here it is. Learn more about benefits. So the benefits are right there. Let's finish scrolling over this page, and then we'll go back and click that link. Lacing up for the greater good, purpose at play, beyond the swoosh, Converse, Jordan, explore careers. Got it. All right, now let's go to right here where it says benefits. And since we found it, we're not going to go to career areas or life at Nike. Moving too fast. Here it is right here. Learn more about the benefits. Find your fit. We support the best version of you. Global benefits. That's not a hyperlink, just checking that. So here they talk about the health benefits, lifestyle benefits, financial benefits. So they only cover 3 different categories right here. It's not a hyperlink, so it's kind of generic or vague or simple how they break down the career benefits that they have or the benefits that they offer throughout the company. All right, now let's just go ahead and go to investor relations so we can go ahead and wrap this up. Here we go. Investors. Thank gosh it didn't open up a whole nother website. We're still in where we are and we didn't have to zoom in. All right, so here, look how small that is. Here's the stock information right here. If we don't find it anywhere else, 9 times out of 10, that's the hyperlink we're going to have to click. So let's just browse over this page. It's really short. News, events, and reports, purpose and sustainability, quarterly earnings, resources, and corporate governance. Got it. All right, let's click here. So here's the chart they have available on the website. Did they zoom us out? No, they didn't. Here's the chart they have available. Here's the stock quote. And here are some other tools that they have. And it does look like Nike pays a dividend. Take me off the screen so you can see it. All right, now let's go here and talk about what I found in my research about the company. Is everything where it need to be? Yes. All right. So in my company research, Nike does have customers and partners that are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some notable names include Foot Locker Incorporated, ticker FL, Dick's Sporting Goods Incorporated, ticker DKS, and Target Corporation, ticker TGT. And real quick, I want to check something. Yeah, guys. That's not right. Because I could have sworn the last time I had checked Foot Locker. Foot Locker is not publicly traded, not under the ticker FL. So I wanted to correct that real quick. I noticed that. I'm like, wait a minute. No. So scratch that one. So you got Dick's Sporting Goods Incorporated, ticker DKS, and Target Corporation, ticker TGT. And then when we said in the S&P 500, Foot Locker isn't in the S&P 500. That's not in there. But we fixed that. Let's check for DKS. Let me check that right now. And here's how I'm going to do that. And I'm going to bring you over so you can see that I'm fact checking this right now. So bring you over so you can see it. So what I have is the S&P 500 listing pulled up, and now I'm looking for DKS. I have it in alphabetical order. Yeah, guys, I don't see that in here. So that's not an S&P 500 company either. The only one that's listed in the S&P 500, I believe, is Target. So let me scroll all the way down and look for it. And then Foot Locker is no longer traded under that ticker. I don't know if they have a different ticker or they're no longer publicly traded. That would be something I would need to look up. TGT. There it is. So Target is in the S&P 500. So we got that. All right. Now let's move on. Talk about the mobile limitations. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now let's look at Nike on the charts. Let's go back. Here we go. And then we put this here. All right, got it. So we'll fix that when we get to that. Let's go to the charts. Here we are. We have Target pulled up. This is not what we're looking at. Nike, put that in the symbol box. Is my cursor active? Yes, it is. All right. So we are looking at a 1 year daily chart for Nike. And they have a 52-week high of $80.17. We can see that right here. 52-week low of $40. And that took place, which we talked about earlier, on June 26th. Now, let's look at the 10-year weekly chart. Now, this is what's blowing my mind with this. They have a 10-year high of $179.10. That took place in 2021 in the week of November 1st. And they have a 10-year low of $40. Now, what this means, guys, is that Nike is recently trading for less than what it was trading for 10 years ago. So all the way back over here, take me off the screen. 2016 is from this dotted line to the left. So it looks like the lowest price was right here. So that looks like $46.83. I know this is, let me adjust it, because it's fitting so much in this small space. So we're gonna, here we go. That's that lowest candle in 2016 right here. And on that price line, you got $49.10. So as far as right now, it closed today at $41.05. And we're going to talk about what it's actually trading for right now since earnings were released after market. But then the 10-year low and the 52-week low is $40. It has, this the lowest it's ever traded for in the most recent 10 years, guys. Crazy. All right. And because the price action is down here, we can focus on looking for our price levels on the 1 year daily chart. Okay. And we can remove some of these drawings. We don't need all of this here. And I'll explain what was going on with that in a second. Put me back on the screen. I was using this one. I'll remove this one as a trend line. So when it broke out above this line down here, it was trading above that line, using that as a trend line. Okay, so remove that. That's what I was looking at. But now it's like it's consolidating sideways, and it broke out at the bottom. So let me put a box there. Consolidation within that range. So this is about 3 months. And then it's slowly creeping out, breaking out to the downside. So with the earnings today, and then we have a gap here that has not been filled all the way. So we got a few things to put on this chart. So let me just go ahead and get started, because there's a few different things on here that's gonna have us working for a minute. So let's go ahead and identify this gap that hasn't been filled yet. And I don't know what that, oh yeah, I know what that price level was. So this was the 2016 price that we were looking at, that 49. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use this rectangle tool. That's not what I want to connect it to. I want to connect it to the low of this green candle. Let's zoom in. I'm not gonna play with this. Take me off the screen so you can see it. You don't need to see me. Not right now. Make this easier to see. Let's zoom in. So what we're doing, we're identifying this gap, guys. We're using the rectangle tool. Connected to the low of that candle and to the high of this candle. That candle is March 31st and April 1st. Then we're going to turn this yellow and identify the fact that that's a gap. Now we're going to extend this over to December 1st, 2026. There we go. So that was the gap. Now that we have that bright as ever, we can see that it's been partially filled, with the high of this candle being the highest point. So I'm going to use my price level tool and identify that price level. So that's $47.65. So now I'm going to adjust this. $47.65. There we go. So that much of that gap has been filled. Now, I'm still seeing that as a resistance zone. So here is how I'm going to handle this. I'm going to connect that low to that high. And then we're going to edit the properties of this. We're going to extend this over to December 1st. Again, we're going to leave it the color that it is, but we need to change the highest price, the $47.65. There we go. So that is still what I'm seeing as resistance. That's a resistance zone. So the yellow is the gap that has not been filled yet. And then this gray area is still a resistance zone. Why? Because this candle wasn't able to get above it. These candles weren't able to get above it. And they're on the low end of that zone at $46.83. Now, these two candles were able to penetrate that resistance zone. The highest one was the green candle, and that one was on May 28th. So it's still seeing that as resistance. These weren't even able to reach that. They weren't even able to get up there. So this is where we are now. And we need to identify some more resistance levels. I'm seeing this right here as resistance. I'm going to use the price level tool right here. It held as resistance here. And it held as support here. This candle did get below it, but it closed above it, even though it opened below that area. Then these candles, it held as support. And then here it held as resistance. So that's why I'm seeing that as a significant price level. So $42.79. And then we just seen recently that the 9-day simple moving average has broken below that line. Now, earnings were released today, which is what we talked about. The 200-day simple moving average is up here at $57.61, this dashed white line. Now, here's what I want to point out to you. The price has dropped. We can see that right here, but we can't see that on the chart because it's saying $41.05. So we're going to go over to the extended hours to be able to see that. So take that box off the screen, go over here, going to a 5-day minute chart. And I have the extended hours opened up. So after the earnings, after the market closed, after 4 p.m., you had a high of $43.90 and you had a low of $37.04. So it's trading below where it closed at today. So you can see that. And if you can't see this on your charts and you're using the Thinkorswim platform, here is how you handle that. Go to settings, go to equities, and make sure that this box right here is selected where it says show extended hours trading session. Okay. So that's what we got there. Let's go back to the daily chart and we can go ahead and put this level as support as well, that 52-week low, since the price is trading right here. And actually that's not even right now. Currently, that's going to be resistance because the price is trading below that right now. So however low tomorrow's candle gets for the day, that's going to be the new area of support. If tomorrow the candle gets below this $40 at any point during the trading session, the lowest point of tomorrow's trading session will be a new 52-week low if it breaks below this $40 52-week low. That's what I'm saying. All right, now let's get the stock quote for Nike and we can go ahead and move on. Go up here to the settings. That's what's wrong. There we go. All right, go to the settings, cut on my floating data box, and let's talk about it. So Nike opened the day at $41.38. They had a high of $41.64. They had a low of $40.89, and they closed today at $41.05, which was a trading range of 74 cents. I told y'all it was hot. Trading range of 74 cents. Now the trading volume. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. So here's the thing. Since the earnings were announced after the market closed today, we should see a spike in volume tomorrow. We should see even higher volume tomorrow. So they traded 73.8 million shares of Nike today. So what we're going to do, we're going to check to see what the average trading volume is for Nike in a daily trading session. So let's take off the floating data box, take me off the screen, and let's look at it. So the average trading volume for Nike, guys, is 18 million shares in a daily trading session. And they did 73 million. They did 73 million. So let me break out the calculator because I want to say they just did 4 times because I'm rounding that off to 80 and then rounding that off to 20. So we can get the exact number just by pulling up the calculator. Just pull up the calculator and do it and do the math. Do the math. All right. So it would be 73 million divided by 18 million. 4 times average. That's what they did today. Crazy, 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 crazy. Put me back on the screen. No, not yet. Okay. So the previous volume, that's weird. Oh, no. That's not weird. I was thinking the average was today's volume. Today's volume was here. Confused myself. Okay. So even though these candles are about the same size, guys, this candle has more than double what yesterday's candle was. So this is yesterday's candle, and that volume is right here, the 27 million shares traded on Monday. And those candles are almost the same size. So this is a good example of showing that the size of the candle does not tell you the volume that's inside the candle. That's a whole separate metric we need to pay attention to, okay? So let's go ahead and put me back on the screen and finish talking about this volume. Now, when we look at the volume rank percentile, out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 3 of those days had higher volume than today, which means that out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than 98.8% of those candles volumes. Got it? Good. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's move on. Let's go here. Let's go here. All right. Community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content. Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. All right, S&P 500 index. Okay, let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company inside the S&P 500 index. So let's go back to the charts. Here we go. So let's go up here to the symbol box and type in the SPY. Take the arrow off. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, the SPY has a 52-week low of $615.04, 52-week high of $760.40. Let's zoom in and focus on the price action that's going on now. Let's look at what's going on now. And we have this crazy long wick on this candle where I don't think we're going to be able to fit that in there because the range on this is so crazy. Let me try. Let me at least try before I say what we can't do. That's good. I think that's good. That makes it easy to see. And then we can actually put me back on the screen. That's decent. All right. So we had a gap that hadn't been filled until today. So we can remove that. Bam. So the gap has been filled and it closed convincingly above this area of resistance at $744.44. So based on what I have on my charts right now, now we got a few more candles to identify a price level, guys. So this candle's low. We can kind of see that now. So we could do that like as a zone if we want it. Let's do it as a zone. Let me go ahead and do it as a zone. No, it's so close we can leave it like this. I'm being indecisive, but let me just go ahead and point this out to you. Now that more candles have formed, you have more candles that responded to this price level of $749.88. Now, what's significant about this price number is that that's real close to $750, which is a psychological price level. So we see that right here, it held as resistance. Here, it held as support for 3 days because we're looking at a daily chart. It held here as support, at least on this candle. Then it opened above it and closed below it. But then it held as resistance here. So to me, that 750, 749.88 is significant. And that's why I'm putting that there. So it needs to get above that as possible resistance. Then you have the next level at $755.44, and then the 52-week high of $760.40. So I just want to walk you through why we have those certain price levels, okay? Now I'm looking at this price level right here at $739.95. I don't think we need that on here anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that one. So I'm gonna remove that price level. Yeah, we don't need that one. Okay, so those are my areas of support and resistance. You can see those price levels over here on the right. And we can go ahead and move on. We can go ahead and get the ETF quote, since this is an ETF for the SPY, and then we can talk about the volume. So the SPY opened today at $741.29. They had a high of $748.02. They had a low of $740.89, and they closed today at $746.77, which is a trading range of $7.13. Trading volume, they traded 55.6 million shares of this ETF today. Okay. And then I didn't mention this when we were looking at the technicals, and then we'll jump over here to the volume. So let me cut the floating data box off. It closed above, it's still trading above the 9-day simple moving average. And then the 200-day simple moving average is well down below. So it's at 691.43. That's the 200-day simple moving average. All right, now let's talk about the volume. Take me off the screen. Got it. So the average trading volume for the SPY, guys, is 73 million shares in a daily trading session. And today they traded 55 million, which is definitely below average. And this candle yesterday, Monday's candle's volume was 58 million. So it was slightly lower. Today's volume was slightly lower than yesterday. So we see a drop in the volume, even though the price is heading up, guys. That's what we see there with the volume on the SPY. So let's go ahead, put me back on the screen, and we can talk about the volume rank percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, 52 of those days had lower volume than today. Now, when we look at the volume rank percentile, out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was only higher than 20.6% of those candles' volumes. Got it? Hope you do, because we're moving on. Let's go ahead and go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. All right. Like that. Take that down. Put this here. Okay. Sector rotation tracker. Why I say tractor? Sector rotation tracker. Time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they performed today. Let's go to the charts and check that out. So we go here, and then we pull that up. Bam, that's our SPX, S&P 500 tracker for performance. So we're gonna go up here and open up the rotation tracker. Whoa, there we go. I know that looks crazy if this is your first time watching it, but we're seeing it, but we gonna get there. So we are looking at the SPX. Now, what's going on? I need to change this because right now this is looking at the most recent 5 days, including today. We just need to look at today's. So we're gonna go up here to the beaker and we're gonna change this to 1 day. There we go. All right, now we can see how the SPX performed today. So the SPX went up, is up 0.8%. Energy is down 0.9%. Materials are up 0.3%. Industrials are up 1.4%. Consumer discretionary is up 0.1%. Consumer staples are down 1.5%. Oh my gosh. I knew it was hot. So my camera didn't shut down on me. Give me a second, guys. I don't even know if my other camera is going to work. Oh man, give me a second. I need to figure this out. You know what? I'm just gonna cut my camera off and let it cool. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut the camera off and we're not even gonna worry about the camera. I'm gonna do the live stream without the camera. Gotta keep going. Can't let that stop what we got going on. We gonna do this show. All right, so where were we? Staples, consumer staples are down 1.5%. Healthcare down 1.3%. Financials down 0.2%. Financials down 0.2%. Information technology up 2.8%. Communication services down 0.7%. Utilities down 1.5%. Real estate down 2%. So now what we're going to look at, we're going to see which sector performed the best today. And it looks like that was information technology with a 2.8% gain. Now, who performed the worst? Utilities, nope. Yeah, utilities is the biggest one I'm seeing so far. Yeah, utilities and consumer staples. All right, now here's the thing. Consumer staples and utilities, they look like they're the same. You got down 1.5% on both of those. If we look up here, we can get the exact number. So consumer staples is this one right here. So it's down 1.54. Utilities are down 1.48. So that means that consumer staples performed the worst today out of the sectors in the S&P 500 index. Okay, so that's how we figured that out. So now we can move on and let's see where we're at now. Now, remember, the camera didn't overheated. We don't need this. We need this disclaimer here. So because of that, we're not going to have me on the screen right now. So we got to figure out a different way to do this show. So let me go here. Let's go here. Looking to see what we're going to do and what we're going to cover. So now we're going to look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. All right. So let's go over here to, let's change this. We need to put this back to pro market closed. Bam, we got it. Now we need to go to our market watch tab. Take this off, put this here. We have the S&P 500 watch list pulled up. We need to change this to the losers at the top. Okay, so the biggest loser in the S&P 500 index today is ticker DLTR, Digital Realty Trust Incorporated. They lost 5.77%. Their previous close was $190.58, and they closed today at $179.58. All right, let's pull up the calculator and do a hypothetical. So let's say if somebody invested $3,500 and they lost that 5.77. Wait a minute, typing too fast. And they lost that 5.77%. We negate that. We turn it into a decimal. Wait a minute. We negate that, turn it into a decimal. They would have lost $201.95. We add the $3,500 back to it. It will show us how much we have left of that investment. It would be $3,298.05. We got it. Now we can move on. Let's go ahead and go over to the Analyze tab. And we can see that DLTR is in the real estate sector. Really? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at how that sector performed, that industry performed, and that sub industry performed. So we're going to go up here to the Market Watch tab and go to the Visualize tab. And then we're going to go to the S&P 500 heat map. So here we are, and we are going to real estate. Here we go. So this is the real estate. I'm laughing, guys. We don't have to figure out what sector. They got towed up. Now, when we use that tool and we looked at the tool, they said consumer discretionary, wasn't it? We just looked at it, and I'm acting like I don't even remember. Yeah, it was consumer discretionary. Consumer discretionary lost the most today. Let me look for something. Let me check something. I got time. Ain't nobody commenting. I don't even know who watching. So let's figure this out. Go here by industry, personal. So we'll go to personal, magnificent, State Street ETF. All right. So when we look at this one, it's saying that the biggest loser was real estate. But when we looked at that tool, it said something different. So I'm going to have to look at that tool and see what we're using. So that's something I'm going to do after the live stream. I'm going to do that at a different time. So when we look at this one, if we use the State Street Global Advisors ETFs, we can see each sector right here. So this is the real estate sector, consumer discretion, consumer staples, utilities, healthcare, and it's saying that real estate lost the most today. That's what it's saying. So if we look at that, because when we looked at the Visualize tool over here, everything is red, guys. It don't even matter what industry it's in inside this sector. They all did bad. But DLTR, Digital Realty Trust, is specifically inside the specialized REITs industry. So if we go in there, now you got different sub industries. You have data center REITs, telecom tower REITs, self-storage REITs, and then other specialized REITs. So Digital Realty Trust Incorporated is inside the data center REITs sub industry specifically. All right, let's go back to the Analyze tab and let's talk about what the company does right here in the description before we go visit their website. So Digital Realty Trust Incorporated, here's their website. Link to their website is also down in the description for your convenience. Digital Realty Trust Incorporated brings companies and data together by delivering the full spectrum of data center, co-location, and interconnection solutions. Got it. All right, now let's go to their website by going here. Control in. Got it. So that's their website there. That's their website. And let's see where we're going to go. So we got about, so we're going to go here to about, see that at the top. Let's just browse over the website. Let's just go ahead and scan over it. And I want to check to see if one of these cameras overheated. I know the other one did. Next time I'm going to keep the other one off so we can switch to the other camera. All right. Let's browse over this. Global co-location, seamless interconnection, proven results. Trusted by the world's most ambitious companies. So here are some of their customers and partners: Microsoft, AWS, Amazon Web Services, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, NVIDIA, Google Cloud, IBM, and Oracle. That look interesting. That's a nice design. On the economics of AI. Everything depends on the right infrastructure. Global reach, local expertise, secure, compliant, and sustainable. Deploy with confidence anywhere. Unlock your potential. Talk to a data center specialist. Got it. Okay, so now we're down at the bottom. We're going to go to About Us. We're going to go to Careers, and we're going to go to Investors. So let's go to About Us. Where tomorrow comes together. We've created the leading data center platform, a meeting place where companies, technology, and data come together to turn data into intelligence. Okay. Where is the mission statement? We need to find a mission, purpose, and vision. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Here it is, our mission. A strong legacy with a bold future. Partnering with our customers provides a clear path to solve the challenges of digital transformation. Our mission is to provide the safe and open meeting place where companies of all sizes can come together, collaborate, and innovate around data. Okay, here's a purpose. We are focused on delivering on our purpose to bring companies, technologies, and data together in bold new ways to power the innovation determining our future. Our global data center platform enables us to deliver value and security on 6 continents in 30 plus countries and 55 plus metro areas. We are where our customers need us. Okay, checking got this fan. Yep. Okay, innovation action, career opportunities. All right, let's go to careers. Took us to another website. Let's blow this up and zoom in. 150. All right. Who we are. Turn this off. Oh, it was off. Guys, I got good news. Give me a second. I can use this other camera. Now, it might overheat, but when it overheats, by the time it gets too hot, we can switch to the other camera. So this is going to have to be a backup plan type of situation. How can I do this? How can I do this? We can do this as a it's gonna take too long to do all that. Let me just keep going. Who we are. Digital Realty purpose is to bring companies and data together. In Bolden, we already read all of that. We're looking for the benefits, guys. Let's just go ahead and try to find these benefits. So they talk about the purpose again, our core values, customer focus, employee stories. All right, I didn't see anything about the benefits. Go back to the top, vacancies, locations, discover us, data center engineer, job locations, find jobs. Yeah, I don't see anything about the benefits that stand out, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and go to investor relations. Down, nope, it's not here because they opened this up on a different website. So let's go back here, investors. They opened up another website. Blow this up, zoom in. There we go, investor relations. Executing on key strategic priorities positioned for long-term sustainable growth. Got it. Here are some stats. Remember, links to these websites are down in the description for your convenience. You want to browse over on your own, or if I'm moving too fast. So here's the stock information right up here at the top. We're going to go to stock quote and chart, and it does look like they pay a dividend and they have other tools here for investors. So here's the stock quote. The chart hasn't loaded yet, and I've talked about this before. I believe that these websites outsource the data from some type of company, and for some reason it's delayed. So it takes a few minutes, a few seconds sometimes for it to load up and come up on the chart. So I'm trying to chat to you. My camera has overheated. I told you guys before we even started the live stream that it was hot. There go the chart. So that's why I'm not on the screen. I'm giving my camera time to cool down so I can at least be on the camera when it's time to end the show. So that's what's going on with the camera. So stock chart, there we go. All right, now, actually, I need it now because this is the part where I tell you what I found in my research. So let's go ahead and try to get this, at least to do this, and then we'll cut the camera back off so it can cool down. All right, there we go. All right, let's see what we can do. We go here. Okay, it's working. And we're going to cut it back off when we switch to go to the charts. Okay, we got to make it work. Got to make it work. Okay. So when it comes to Digital Realty Trust Incorporated, ticker DLTR, when it comes to their goods and services, they manage carrier neutral data center operations across the cloud provider, financial services, and information technology markets, offering solutions such as 1, complete global co-location options, including physical server space and climate control cabinets for enterprise tech businesses. Number 2, scalable high density power products, including platform digital computing spaces, robust power arrays, and multi-megawatt facilities for hyperscalers. And number 3, optimized network interconnection systems tailored for multi-cloud traffic routing, low latency data transfers, and carrier neutral connectivity. Looking at their S&P 500 customers and partners, notable names include Alphabet Incorporated, ticker GOOGL, Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, and Meta Platforms Incorporated, ticker META. All right, now let's go to the charts. Let's go to the charts. As soon as I know what button I gotta push. Here we go. All right, bam. We got them pulled up. Okay, and now we're gonna go over here. So here they are on the charts, and remember, the camera's hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. And give me a second, because I don't want it to be, I want to make sure that it's available when it's time for us to do something else. So we'll cut it back on in a minute. All right, so let's look at the 1-year daily chart for Digital Realty Trust Incorporated. They have a 52-week low of $146.23. They have a 52-week high of $208.14. Okay. So they gapped down recently, guys, but we'll get to those technicals in a minute. Let's start with the higher time frame. So we can see over here, we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart. Let you know what we're looking at. So right over here, 10-year weekly chart, and they trade on the New York Stock Exchange. They have a 52-week low of $85.60, not a 52-week low, 10-year low of $85.63, and a 10-year high of $208.14. Do a lot of drawing since I'm not on the screen. Okay, now what we're looking for, since this is this week, let me zoom in. This big red candle right here is what we have for the week so far. And that is a weekly candle. And it's almost taking out the low of this week right here. So that was the week of June 8th. Now with these candles, that looks like an area of support and resistance to me. Okay? Because there's a lot of candles responding to that price level. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a price level there. So right here, price level 2, I'm going to connect it to the body of this red candle. I put it on that body because it connected to more candles by doing it that way. Let me drag this over so you can see what I mean and take that arrow off. All these weeks held as resistance under that price level of $181.94. Also, that $181.94 is close to a psychological round number of $180. We can see that it held as resistance here and here on those 2 weekly candles. And we could also do this as a zone. So if we did this as a zone, we could touch those candles as well. But I want to move a little bit faster tonight, and I'm just going to use a price level line. But that zone, because it's lower, is going to be around that. You see on the right-hand side? So if we came down to this wick right here, let me go ahead and put that price level there. I'm not going to do the zone, but I'm at least do the price level so you can see what that price level is. That price level is $177.97. So if we fill that out to make it a zone, it would catch even more of those candles. So let's zoom out and look for support. So we see that second level we have put there at $177.99. We can see that it responded to that down here in 2021, right here in this area. Okay, let's zoom out. Now here, yeah, that's another price level to me, guys, right here. So let's zoom in. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here. These candles right here. And then over here, it was responding to that price level as well. So if I was to put it right here on this, it was responding to that $170.03. Over here was responding to the 9-week simple moving average, this dashed green line. But over here, a lot of these candles was responding to that price level. Over here, it held as resistance and support. Over here, support and resistance. And over here. So that $170.03 is significant as well. That's what I'm seeing. And then if we zoom out, zoom back out, it responded to it here. Okay. All right, guys, we spent enough time on the 10-year weekly. And then this is the 200-week simple moving average, and that's at $146.23. Let's go over here and go to the 1-year weekly, 1-year daily chart. Guys, I'm all over the place because my mind is on these hot cameras. So if you ain't noticed, I ain't been myself since this camera started acting up. And it ain't really the camera actually acting up. It's just so hot in here. It's easier for the cameras to overheat. And if I run the air conditioner, it's going to affect the sound. So this is the trade-off that I'm dealing with. So we have some support and resistance here on the charts. If we look at the daily, let me go ahead and put some resistance here. These price levels they're more like zones. I'm trying to just use a price level, like a clean line. But to me, it's really moving like zones. So like if I was to do this and extend this over to December 1st, that touches way more candles. And it shows you how it responded to that zone. And then I put the price levels here so you can see it. So the bottom of that zone would be $191.90. The top of that zone, I think it was this candle that I used. $194.89. So being as so the price action is down here, this zone would be resistance. Now it gapped down from Monday to Tuesday, which was today, and then it closed below that area of resistance at $181.94. So it went from support to resistance because the price action is here now. So let's identify this gap, put this here, extend this over, make it yellow so we know that that's a gap. Extend that over to December 1st. Just make sure it's out far enough until it fills, if it fills. And there we go. So that's what we have, guys. And then right here is the 200-day simple moving average, and then it's trading below the 9-day simple moving average. As far as resistance, if it was to get above that zone, I would say here, because that's touching more candles doing it that way. So, and that's around a psychological level. That 201.33 is real close to 200. Okay. So that's what I'm getting as resistance, and that's what I've got for support. All right, so let's move on and go to the cut on the floating data box, and let's talk about it. So Digital Realty Trust Incorporated opened today at $182.25. They had a high of $183.15. They had a low of $179.03, and they closed today at $179.58, which was a trading range of $4.12. Now, the trading volume, they traded 11.4 million shares of this stock today. We don't have to take me off the screen because I'm already off it. So let's go ahead and cut off the floating data box, and we can go over here. So the average trading volume for Digital Realty Trust, guys, is about 2 million shares in a daily trading session. So this is definitely above average. So this is about 5 times 6. It would be 6 times. I'm rounding this off to 12. 6 times average. And then they did 2.2 million on this candle for Monday. So the volume definitely increased when it got to the downside for this candle right here. Okay. Now let's talk about the volume rank percentile. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, none of those days had higher volume than today. We should have known as low as the average volume was right here. That's crazy low. The average volume is crazy low. So for you to do 6 times that in a day, that's likely is going to be that 100%. So what this basically means is that out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than all of those candles volumes. That's it. So we got it. So let's go ahead and move on. And we still don't have the camera. We're going to save the camera for the end of the show. I'll probably pull it up for the website. It'll be easy to do it for the website. I think it'll cool down or won't be too hot by the time we do the last part of the show. So let's go back over here to the watch list, condense this, go to the quotes sub tab, pull up the S&P 500 index. So here we go, change this. So the biggest gainer in the S&P 500 index today is Sandisk, guys. Sandisk did it again. Ticker SNDK. They had a gain of 10.89%. Previous close, $2,050.39. And they closed today at $2,273.73. Whoa. Okay. I'm going to expand this back over, and then we can take those down. All right. So let's pull up the calculator and do a hypothetical. So I think we were using 3,500 today. So if somebody invested $3,500 and they got that 10.89% gain, turn it to a decimal, they would have gained $381.15 on top of their $3,500 investment. So it would have grown to a total of $3,881.15. And now that I think about it, I think we use 2,500, but the math is the same. You just need to change out the numbers. All right. Got it. So we go over here to the Analyze tab after we select this to have it ready to go. So here we go. Sandisk is in the information technology sector. So now we're about to track the performance of that sector, the industry that Sandisk is in, and the sub industry that Sandisk is in. So let's go back over here to the Market Watch tab, pull up the Visualize sub tab, and we already have the S&P 500 index heat map pulled up. So it's in the information technology sector, Sandisk is. So we go there, and now we're looking for their industry. They are in the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals industry, and the sub industry is the exact same thing. It has the same name. So it looks like it's mixed, guys. You got a balance. You got 4 red and 5 green. So it's mixed in the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals industry and sub industry. But the information technology sector, yeah, you got a few red in there, but I think I see more green than red. So it looked like they did well today overall, which we also identified on the rotation tracker, but we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that. All right, go back to the Analyze tab. And looking at this, guys, before we go to their website, Sandisk Corporation, here's a link to their website. Let's read a little bit about the description. Sandisk Corporation develops, manufactures, and sells data storage devices and solutions using NAND flash technology in the United States, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and internationally. Got it. Now, we're going to go to their website. Let me cut the camera back on. We're going to try to use this camera during the website phase. So let's go here, put me back on the screen. Got it. All right, let's hurry up and do this before it overheat. Pull up their website. Here we go. Got it. All right, now we done looked at Sandisk I don't know how many times because they keep showing up as the biggest winner. The biggest winner. Just keep going up. Just keep going up. Record high after record high after record high. Just keep going up. Keep going up. And it's not 52-week highs. They did a pullback, but they keep showing up as gainers. Like even when they do their pullback, they'll gain 10, 12, 15% back after a pullback and still end up as a gainer. So we're going to browse over their homepage. Put the right ticker up there. For match day moments, man, they going crazy about this soccer. So Nike was talking about it, and Sandisk been doing this for a minute. They've been prepared for the soccer season coming up. So here's their storage that they have available. That's what they do. Future ready PCIe Generation 5. I'm gonna browse, or we already at the bottom. I ain't even have to say anything. All right, take me off the screen so we can see this. We're gonna go to About Us, Careers, and Investors. So here we go. About Us. About Us at Sandisk. So here it is right here where it says About Us. At Sandisk, we keep people and businesses moving forward with inspired innovations to actualize their potential. Who we are, our vast portfolio of flash products enables a seamless and simplified world of resilient data expression and storage. All right, our principles: innovation, sustainability, collaboration, and community, responsible leadership. Innovation, propel progress. Got it. All right, sustainability, invest in tomorrow. Remember, links to this website is down in the description for your convenience, so you can browse through this on your own time. Collaboration, community, build together. Build better together. Got it. Got the way. Here's the leadership that they have in the company. Move a little bit faster. All right, so we're down at the bottom of the page. Now we're going to go to, take me off the screen, careers. And guys, I'm gonna move a little bit faster. What we're looking for are the benefits. And what I love about Sandisk is that they don't make it hard to find what the benefits are. The link for that is right here. So let's browse over the page. Join Team Sandisk. Meet Sandisk, students and grads, benefits, got it. Finance, strategy, technology, engineering, global operations, people experience, legal and compliance, sales and marketing. Got it. The hiring process. I love when companies do that to prepare the candidates for the job. I think that's really helpful. Okay, find the perfect role, search for jobs. All right, go to benefits. Let's see what they offer. Helping you thrive. Here we go. So here's the information about the benefits: healthcare, lifestyle and well-being, and financial benefits. So you can browse through this on your own time. It doesn't look like it's hyperlinks, but it gives you an idea of what they cover. They don't go into too deep of detail about it. All right, so now we need to go to investor relations. Take me off the screen. Let's go here, investors. Got it. Put me back on the screen. So the link that we need to go to is right here. Let's browse over the page briefly. So here are some stats: new releases, news, events, latest presentations, quick links, news releases, events, stock information. This takes you to the same thing. So you can click here or here. Here's the stock quote. And as we talked about earlier about the delay of the charts popping up on the screen. So that's going to take a minute. So hopefully it'll be up there soon. They do have other tools available for investors on their website. So you got historical price lookup and an investment calculator and things like that. It should pop up by now. There we go. So there's the chart. All right, now let's talk about what I found in my research about Sandisk. So Sandisk Corporation, ticker SNDK. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage NAND flash memory manufacturing across the enterprise, cloud data center, and consumer electronics markets, offering solutions such as 1. Complete enterprise solid state drive options, including high capacity enterprise drives and custom flash modules for massive hyperscale data centers. Number 2, scalable data storage products, including portable solid state drives, memory cards, and USB flash drives for global consumer electronics retail markets. And number 3, optimized memory infrastructure systems tailored for high performance artificial intelligence storage, ultra low latency server computing, and high density industrial edge arrays. Got it. We got it. All right. Looking at their S&P 500 customers and partners, notable names include NVIDIA Corporation, ticker NVDA, Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, and Hewlett Packard Enterprise Company, ticker HPE. All right. Now let's go to the charts. Let's go to the charts here. Bam, 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 bam. Got it. Now, don't want the camera to overheat, so I'm going to go ahead and take me off the screen and cut the camera back off so we can have it for the end of the show, guys. So let me do that. Bam. There we go. All right. Cut this off. And I'm going to fix this. First time I had this problem using the OBS software. If I was using the other platform, it would have been real easy to switch to the other camera, but it's not that easy with OBS. I'm gonna have to program that, but it's okay. I'm glad it happened because it won't happen again. I bet you that. I'm gonna make sure I got this set up for us to do what we gotta do. You understand? All right, so we're looking at the 1 year daily chart for Sandisk. And guys, they're still moving. The market is closed and this stock is still moving. It's still moving. It's still trading right now. Okay, let's zoom in and focus on where the price action is now. I'm going to give you a peek at the 10-year weekly chart. So guys, it's not even going back 10 years. It's going back to 2025. It looks like the furthest it goes back is February 10th, the week of February 10th, because this is a weekly chart and it's set to 10 years. But they only have 2 years worth of data. Okay, you can see that it says 10-year weekly. That's what that is. So they have a 2-year low of $27.89, 2-year high of $2,354.39. Guys, this is this week's candle right here, that big green one right there. And it looks like we need to find out what's going on with this gap right here. Okay. So we're going to identify that and break that down over here on the 1 year daily chart. Let's take the arrow off and let's zoom in and focus on where we are right now. Before we zoom in, this is going to disappear. So the 200-day simple moving average is at $685.35. Okay, so let's zoom in and focus on where the price action is right now. There's this. Yeah, we didn't need all that. Okay. So yeah, guys, it looks like that those gaps have been filled by this candle right here. So we haven't looked at Sandisk since we have put these gaps on here, but we adjusted them. So now we can go ahead and remove them. They've been filled. The regular hours trading has filled those gaps that we had on the chart. This is a nice recovery right here. This looks like a liquidity gap. A liquidity grab, which we talked about yesterday. This long wick coming all the way down to test this level at $1,895, only to recover and close right here. Then the next day it opens here, so it gapped above the whole trading session of the previous day. So this is Monday's candle right here. It's Monday's candle. Here's today's candle. And it opened here, and that's a gap above the whole entire previous trading session. So it wiped all of that out. The low came down a little bit into the range of yesterday's trading session, but it closed strong today. It closed strong. It does. I covered up the wick. It has a small little wick on the top, but we'll talk about that when we do the stock quote in a second. Just looking over the technicals real quick. And it got through this area of resistance at $2,191.69 very convincingly. And it started to get back into the body of this daily candle. So that looks like that's Thursday of last week. Yeah, Thursday of last week. And so if that's let's do the dates. Let's pull up the dates. So if I go here and open up the floating data box, we can just get the dates, even though they're not going to give us the days of the week. So in this body, that was June 25th. The body of this candle was June 22nd. So closing up here at this level puts it where it's getting into the body of these previous daily candles, into the price action. So it's recovering really well. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get that stock quote for Sandisk, and we can talk about the volume and get ready to wrap it up, guys. Okay, so we have the floating data box up already. Let's talk about it. So Sandisk opened today at $2,109.73. They had a high of $2,280.80. They had a low of $2,070, and they closed today at $2,273.73, which was a trading range of $210.80. Now, the trading volume, they traded 11.4 million shares of this stock today, which was slightly below average. The average trading volume is 11.8. The previous trading volume for this candle right here on Monday was 11.2 million shares traded. So we see an increase in volume from yesterday to today, but both of those are still below average, guys. Let me cut that floating data box off. And I can go ahead and put me back on the screen since we're almost done and we're about to get ready to wrap up the show. So there we go. So the camera should be able to make it this last little bit that we have left. Okay. All right. Now, why did it do that? Let's pull this back over. All right. Now, when we look at the volume rank percentile out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, it's very balanced. It's very balanced. So 134 of those days had lower volume than today. So DB days below. Days above, 118 of those 252 trading days had higher volume than today. Volume rank percentile, let's talk about it. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than 53.2% of those daily trading days volume. Bam. We got through it, guys. Even with the technical difficulties and me stumbling and fumbling, we got through it, guys. Another day in the books. Let's go here. Another day in the books. Guys, things happen. They just do. But it all starts with showing up and working your way through it. Finding a way to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. If you depend on your emotions to try to get something done, oh my, you probably ain't gonna be able to get nothing done. You got to keep going whether you want to or not, whether you feel like it or not, whether things working out or not. And the fear of something going wrong, things always can go wrong. But you have to show up anyway. You have to show up anyway. As you show up and those things happen, it makes you stronger as long as you grow from it. Making mistakes isn't the problem. Making the same mistakes is the problem. Make the mistake, learn from it, correct it, and then you grow. You grow. Like, I'm glad the camera overheated. So now I already have a backup camera. All I need to do is program it and set it up. So now when this happens again, We just switch to the other camera. And then while the other camera cooling, the other camera can get hot, and then we just keep switching. So solution. And then they got a fan I can buy to add to this other camera to try to keep it cool too. So it's a few things that I can do to solve this issue. But I'm glad that happened tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. And let me go ahead and wrap this up. Gave you a little pep talk. So we about to go ahead and finish this up. All right. You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Wait a minute. We about to do this one more time because I said all that and I had a mess up here on the screen. I had this up. We got it fixed. We got the right disclaimers up. We got the light. We fixed it. All right, here we go. You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, July 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're reviewing this week's performance of the 11 sectors in the S&P 500 index, companies that stood out, notable market news, and performing a live Q&A so we can focus on building our community. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care and God bless.